ready.
It's that time again. We're looking at another Hot Toys clone trooper, and I'm very excited to show you the 501st Battalion clone trooper from Hot Toys. This figure is awesome, man. I am very happy I decided to go in on these Hot Toys clone troopers. I was hesitant. I was like, I might just order Rex just to go with Cody, but I'm like, if I have Rex, it'd be cool to have the 501st, and if I have the 501st, it'd be cool to have another Revenge of the Sith trooper with a shock trooper. And I ordered all three. So here's the 501st. I should be getting the shock trooper within the next couple weeks, which is exciting. And then Captain Rex, I will get whenever Captain Rex becomes a thing. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's take the figure and oh man, he looks so nice. That blue, I love it. I've always loved 501st blue, man. I've always loved the 501st, even though they take the limelight away from the 212th a little bit. I've always loved them. Let's look at this big old box real quick. Well, we won't spend too much time on this. This is the Deluxe Edition box. So you can see it includes the interchangeable Phase 1 helmet, an orange patterned Clone Trooper helmet, which is obviously the 332nd. On the side, you got the 332nd. Front, 332nd. Pretty much all of the detailing shows the 332nd. And on the back, you can see the people who made it. And then taking the front cover off, we can see this awesome, cool, sort of poster-style image of the 332nd Trooper with the rotary cannon. And then removing that, you can see how the figure's packaged. So yeah, love these Hot Toys boxes. I do kind of miss the Sideshow magnetic flaps and everything and the massive read-ups. I do kind of miss that, but at the same time, Sideshow, they get it done. So, the Hot Toys 501st Trooper, what does he include? Well, he includes a lot. Let's get into it. So currently what he has on him is his DC-15 carbine, his right trigger finger hand, his open left hand, and a droid popper. Let's take that out of his hand there and show that real quick. You'll see the DC-15 a little more closer up. But he comes with a droid popper, which is really nice. And he actually does come with another version of the droid popper too, which I keep in his backpack. Because he also gets a trooper backpack, which is really cool. So he gets one with a flat bottom, almost like you can set it as a charge or something. So that's really cool. So you get a flat bottom one and a perfectly round one. And I keep it in the backpack with a real fabric covering right there. The Deluxe Troopers did also come with these backpacks. But, I mean, it's really nice to get this too. It really is. I believe this one just comes with the Deluxe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to, everything. This is the Deluxe version. You don't get everything with the standard release. It does have nice straps there that I feel like are made of like a rubbery material, I want to say. So those may wear down over time. Definitely be careful with those. But yeah, he's got some nice straps, nice weathering on it, Republic symbol. It's a nice backpack. And then, to go with that, you need some other kind of backpacky goodness. So he comes with a jetpack, which is super cool. And yes, he also comes with these thruster effects. And I love these. Here, just to quickly demonstrate this, he's already in a really nice dynamic pose. Number one, let's get that droid popper back in his hand. And he holds it really nice, too, with open hands. Just kind of squishes in. He has his dynamic flight pole. We're just, totally random with all these accessories. He has the dynamic flight stand with the clamp, which really clamps him really good. And his base, for once, it's not the dirty, like, Tatooine-looking base. And this is corrected. The original version said 501st Battalion Clone Trooper. This one says 501st Battalion. So that is accurate. And actually, I just learned this recently. The 501st was a battalion in the Clone Wars and became a legion under the Empire. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can just raise this up. You're supposed to, like, loosen the screw and everything. I'm definitely doing it the horrible way. Don't do it the way I'm doing it. But you can bend it. It's a really nice bendy wire. And now he's really high up. He's actually really high up. But we can get the jetpack. It just connects with magnets. Really nice and firm on his back there. Let's raise the camera a bit. And now, my trooper is flying. Let's just adjust his ankles a little bit so he's not standing still. Yeah, now he's flying. That is amazing. So he comes with that. He also comes with the DC-15 rifle, which, I mean, it's a clone trooper. You need to have the DC-15 rifle. And the detail on this is nice. I mean, it's a DC-15 rifle, man. What would you expect? It looks really good. I really do like that. And then probably my favorite weapon of his, he comes with a rocket launcher, which is really cool. Love the look of this. I like the size, too. It's nice and small. He holds it really good. Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of that. That's a really nice accessory. And then, the Deluxe Clone Troopers from Sideshow back in 2014 also came with this. But he does come with a rotary cannon, which is awesome. At least I think it's a rotary cannon. I usually just call it the didn't say please. That's usually what I call it. Man, look at the paint on that. Gorgeous. I would say the best hand for him to hold this with is the open hand. Like, just kind of having the open hand sort of loosely on that, and then getting, like, a firmer grip hand, like his right trigger finger hand, onto that. That's usually the best way I have him hold it. That's usually the best result I get. But yes, let's just go into the hands. He's got the reverses of what he has now. So he's got those. He has a left thumbs up. Let's get in a little closer on these so you can see the detail. He's got a left thumbs up, and the armor looks great. The glove looks great. He's got a right gesturing hand. So that's nice. Looks good. Looks good. And he's got a left pointing hand. So he can point if you need him to point. So he's got those. Then last and not least, he's got an open right hand. If you want it looking like he's like, no, or, doing whatever. I am definitely missing the fists. I wish he had fists, honestly. I think that'd look really cool if he had fists. So, let's go into the helmets, because he comes with 3 helmets. What he has on now is probably what mine will be displayed with for, I would say, about 75% of its life. And that is the standard 501st helmet, and we'll see that when we get a closer look at the figure itself. And don't worry, I will put these helmets on near the end of the video. You do get the Phase 1 501st helmet, which is not really accurate to canon. It is definitely a cool inclusion, but the 501st Troopers did not have all these special markings when they were Phase 1. They basically just looked like clone lieutenants, just with like that part of the stripe removed and no dots on the chest. But yeah, I mean, it's a very nice looking Phase 1 helmet, for sure. For sure. Now, I want to get this comparison out of the way. Sideshow did something very similar with their Deluxe figures from 2014, where they gave figures the Phase 1 helmet, even though it didn't really make sense in the canon. You can see, number 1, this 501st has a lot more white than these old Deluxe figures. And number 2, the Phase 1 helmet is just a little bigger. It's just a little bigger, and I do feel like it is slightly oversized on the new Hot Toys. Just slightly. I feel like the old Sideshow helmet was basically perfect. And I feel like the new Hot Toys one, while very nice, like I feel like the mouth is just a little too thick. I feel like it's just a little too big. But it's still a very nice helmet. Like, those are nitpicks, man. Those are nitpicks on a very, very perfect looking helmet. Like, oh my gosh, look at the gloss on that visor. If you're curious, that's what it looks like on the inside. It's got like screws and everything. Very gorgeous helmet. And of course, I mean, Clone Wars Season 7 was honestly the best. What just fell? Ah, jeez. It was just an airborne trooper on my 212th display. But Clone Wars Season 7 was amazing. And of course, we need a 332nd helmet to commemorate that. And this also looks gorgeous. Interesting choice with not having the black brow. I mean, on the front, it would make sense, the troopers might have just painted over it. But along the back, the black trimming is just not there. So definitely kind of going for more of an animated deco. But it's all right. It's all good. Gorgeous looking helmet, though. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll definitely put this on the figure near the end of the video. Because, he will definitely have this for probably about like 20% of his life. And I'd say about 5% of his life I'll use the Phase 1 helmet. Because I'm one and done with these expensive Hot Toys figures, man. I can't army build. I can't get multiples. I'm one and done. So let's take him off the display base, take some of these accessories off of him, and take a closer look at the figure itself. Because he's got it going on, man. He really does. He really, really does. So, his joints are nice and solid and clicky, and I am not afraid of breaking them. We'll compare him to that old Sideshow that I've already been kind of comparing to in just a bit, so you can really see the joint difference, because wow, kind of night and day. But yeah, man, look at this. Number one, look at that that 501st helmet, straight out of Revenge of the Sith. Wow, man, that really brings back memories. Looking at this through my camera viewfinder is reminding me of when I got that battle pack as a kid. It came with like the clone pilots and Anakin and these 501st troopers, the quick draw version. I was so enamored with the color and the shade of blue, and just looking at it through my camera, man, I am so enamored again. It's like I'm 15 years younger. It's seriously like I am, like 7-8-year-old Adam all over again. And it's a treat. It is such a treat. His torso armor looks gorgeous. The deco is immaculate. The weathering is so realistic and superb. It reminds me a lot of the CGI models. It's got the little blue striping on the wrist there. It's got the little communicator. Has a little like washing in it. His belt is a softer overlay piece, so you don't have to be afraid of that being super rigid and breaking. He is just gorgeous. Look at the shoulder pad even. And then the shoulder pads are on their own Velcro straps. So if you feel like he doesn't have enough of a shoulder profile, you can maybe move him out. You can move him up. You can actually adjust the shoulder pads to give him more of a shoulder profile if you feel like he needs it. Then his back too. One noteworthy detail. He does not have the blue on the little back panel here. In the movies, I believe the 501st Troopers do have blue, but in the Clone Wars, they do not. So this design, this deco, was specifically taken from the Clone Wars. But it is, it doesn't have the eye being super short like how Black Series did, because Black Series is stupid. Oh, you just hate on Black Series? They make some funny choices from time to time, okay? Then again, this figure, the original run said Battalion, so who am I to talk? Oh yeah, and the thigh striping too. Oh wow. That looks gorgeous. All the weathering and everything. Then the knees. Look at the knees, man. Oh man, I love the 501st Troopers. I always have. The original Revenge of the Sith Troopers, they got an aesthetic that like nothing else from like the Clone Wars series have just reimagined. Like the Revenge of the Sith decos, Shock Trooper, Star Corps, Shock. I already say Shock Trooper, I'm losing my mind. 501st, 212, all those decos, they've got this flair to them, this look that's just so iconic, and they just stand apart from everything from the Clone Wars animated, like the Wolf Pack and all that. Yes, I love it. Revenge of the Sith, man, that's my thing. Like, look at that looks perfect! He looks perfect! He's perfect. I love him. He's so great. You've gotten a good look at him. Here's his carbine. It's the same as Commander Cody's. It does flip, but it doesn't actually flip all the way, so that's disappointing. I mean, you can flip it like that, I guess, if you want that, but it's supposed to be like a stock. It's supposed to flip into a stock, and you can't really do that, so that's disappointing. And unfortunately, it doesn't clip in like the Sideshow. That's one thing I got to mark against this one. But his posability and his articulation, let's get into it. So let's actually swap the helmet while we're doing this real quick. Just cuz. You just kind of ease it off. Come on, there we go. It does have the nice body glove underneath too. Really nice body glove. Let's switch it to the Phase 1 while we are doing this. So his head articulation moves down a lot, moves up a lot, and it's basically the same for the Phase 2. You can give it a lot of motion. It's really nice. The shoulders move out about that far. They do a butterfly joint, which feels so good. It just feels so good. Then, of course, the shoulder pads float. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow that has a really nice click to it. I'd say it goes about up that far. It's got the standard 6-scale wrist pegs. He has waist articulation, kind of hard to access because of all the armor, so I would definitely limit that to probably just the waist rotation. And because the belt is softer, I'm not very afraid of that, but I probably wouldn't move it more than about that. I definitely am like super cautious with my 6 scales. I don't, go crazy with them. Legs, you can move him pretty far forward. You can get him kneeling, which is really nice. I feel like his posability is better than Commander Cody's. I don't really know how or why, because I thought they'd basically be the same figure, but I feel like his is actually a little better. You can move the legs out really nice, and they're on nice clicks. The knees are very nice and clicky too. I'd say you can move them about that far before the guard there gets in the way. Then his ankles are on ball joints. You can get him tilting and everything. So yeah, articulation's really nice. Oh man, you can see how I feel like the helmet's a little big. I just feel like it's just a little large. I mean, if you kind of zoom out and look at the whole guy as a whole, I mean, it looks like a guy in a suit. It looks like armor, and it looks great. But, I just feel like that helmet's just a smidge too big, especially if we put on a Phase 2 helmet, which I will now. Come on out with the 332nd. There we go. Pops on nice. Aw, man, look at that. Ooh, that's nice. Maybe I should buy a second one. No, you don't need to. You could just buy the standard edition. No, I don't need to. I don't need to. Yeah, man, look at him. He stands fine on his own, too. He really does. Aw, man, perfect. He looks so perfect. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. Well, actually, technically, my boy is the 212th. And I guess we should probably compare them, because I have the Sideshow 212th right next to me. But before I do that comparison, I do want to switch the helmet back here, just to give you an idea of the articulation with the Phase 2 helmet. Aw, man, that helmet is perfect. That's sculpt. I thought Hot Toys nailed it the first time, because Hot Toys sculpted the armor for the Sideshow Deluxe figures. But, man, they really improved even more on this Phase 2 helmet. Now it just looks absolutely perfect. Like, look at him, man. Look at him. That's a 501st Trooper right there. One thing I do want to mention. His hip joints, because they're on clicks, you have basically two options. You have an A stance, like this, or you have, like, straight up and down, like, at attention. Sir, yes, sir. So, I wish there was a bit of a midway point, because I do feel like, A stance is very action-oriented, and the sir, yes, sir is very, he looks like he needs to pee a little bit. So, yeah, definitely, I wish there was a midway point between the clicks there, but I get it. So, let's compare him to the old Sideshow Deluxe figures. Since we don't know if Hot Toys is going to make a 212th, good thing I already have a 212th with the Sideshow one. Here, let's see if we can get him standing on his own. There we go. So yeah, number one, you can definitely tell one of the big differences is the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads on the old 212th and on the old Sideshows are attached to the torso armor. But now they're attached on the Velcro straps to the arms. And I 100 gajillion, quadrillion % prefer how Hot Toys does it. Another difference I'm noticing here is the helmet size. It's funny, I was talking about how the Hot Toys Phase 1 helmet is larger than the Phase 1 helmet from Sideshow. Yikes. We'll talk about that. But it's actually the other way around with the Phase 2. I feel like this Phase 2 helmet from Sideshow is actually a little bigger. But overall, the armor still looks really nice. The deco on this old Sideshow one is perfect. I still don't really have a lot of issues with this deco. I feel like these two still really fit together well, even though that helmet difference is a little jarring, because you can definitely tell that the Old Sideshow Phase 2 is larger. But it's all good. I mean, if you get them posed up next to each other, it's not going to be super noticeable. But speaking of posing, I don't know if you got the gist of this figure yet. He's very fun to pose. His joints are really nice and solid and durable, and he's great. These old Sideshow bodies, man, ooh, you can already tell. They are floopy, gloopy, like clicky, kind of messes. And this is a figure from, 2014? So, yeah, he's already this loose. And he's not broken. He's not rattling or anything. The joints have just loosened up that much. So that's really a disappointment. And I actually took his gun out of his hand for this video because he could hardly even hold up the weight of his own rifle. But you do get a lot of good articulation with him. Like, you can move his legs really far forward. And, like, you do get some good range. You do. This is a nice figure. It's just a shame that the joints loosen up so much. And he still looks really good. So, like, this Sideshow Trooper will forever have a spot in my collection. I wish the shoulders would stay down a little bit more just to match the Hot Toys one now. The armor slides around a lot more on these. But honestly, if Hot Toys does a 2/12, it's a bought on the spot. It just is. So I don't mind having two 2/12s, especially if they're different figures. But for me, man, I am in love with these Hot Toys clone troopers. I cannot wait for my Shock Trooper to come in very, very soon. I cannot wait for Captain Rex at the end of the year. I'm excited to see what else they might bring. I'd love to see the 2/12 come to light because they did show him at a toy show. But oftentimes, you know how Hot Toys is. They show stuff, it never comes out. What else would I love to see? Commander Wolf would be awesome. Give him like 3 helmets. I would buy that. Retread just some of Sideshow's ground. You know, I didn't want to go back and get a lot of the Sideshow troopers because I'm not, you know, they're very expensive and I don't feel like they're as good a quality as Hot Toys. But with Hot Toys troopers, I'm not going to get the Bad Batch because they're just kind of, you know, their own thing to me. But when it comes to the standard Hot Toys clone troopers, man, they might have me all in. Currently, they have me all in. They have me 4 for 4. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what Hot Toys brings to the table. But currently, very impressed. I look at this thing and it brings me so much joy. This is the kind of thing I'll have in my living room in a glass cabinet years from now, and I'll still walk by it and I'll be like, yes, this right here just encompasses so much about what I love in general. These figures are really special to me. That's why I make Hot Toys purchases very sparingly, because if I got Hot Toys like, you know, once a week, then I feel like the specialness would fade away. I almost feel like to a degree that it kind of already has a little bit, because it's like I've already gotten like a few Hot Toys figures this year, you know? So, you know, it's not like a huge event like it was when I was a teenager getting my first Sideshows. But it's still, especially making this review, it's definitely hit home for me just how special this figure is to me and how special, you know, Sideshow and Hot Toys, especially Hot Toys, are. Because, oh my gosh, this 501st, I 100%, not 100% recommend this. If it's something in your price range, if it's something you're interested in, if it seems like something you want to get, Hot Toys are worth it. They really are. In my opinion, at least. I look at this, I look at everything you get, I look at the quality, I look at the paint, the detail, the articulation, and I see the value. I genuinely do. I feel so much value with this, and I am very excited to get the Shock Trooper. I'm very excited. And I can't wait to get Captain Rex, and I can't wait for what else they decide to get me with. If they do the Republic Commandos, I'm going to be in trouble, because that's going to be about $1,000 that I will absolutely have to spend. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me through this long video. It's a Hot Toys, so it takes some time, and also I need some time to gush and just talk about how much I love it. Oh, man. It's so great. Thank you all so much for watching. Special shout out to the patrons of Patreon. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for your continued support. You're all great. I do not deserve you. Honestly, Purchases like this could not be possible without your support. Genuinely, I don't know if I could be buying stuff like this if it wasn't for the extra money that I've been making through YouTube over the past years. I genuinely don't think that would be possible. So thank you guys, seriously. I love this, and I love you guys, and I love the channel, and I have no intention of going away anytime soon. If I go away all of a sudden without letting you guys know, something is wrong. So please, you know, respect that I'm rambling too much. I'm rambling. Respect that I respect you. And if something happens, I'll let you guys know. I will. Like earlier this year, I had something happen, and I let you guys know. I'm not going away just like that. I'm not one of those YouTubers that's just going to stop and not tell people why. Okay, I'm done gushing. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.